Good morning, my friends. I hope everyone's having a great day. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. Welcome back. This is week 47. We only have 5 weeks left in the year for our challenge, our 1,000 pound challenge that we have been doing all year long. And as you can see, we've made it to November. We're in the final stretch, everybody. And we can just take this aside for a second and show you all the things that we have been recycling and putting back in our garden versus going into the landfill. And on the carbon side, we've had shred cardboard that we've shredded or torn up, and now we're getting into the leafy season, so we're recycling those pounds and pounds. August 1st was when we hit our goal of 1,000 pounds, and now we're really working in the home stretch towards 2,000. That was Nick the gardener, that was his guess, and he's on the top of the list. But one thing that Sandra over at Nana's Worms and Gardens suggested, I hadn't even thought of it. And I think that's what a lot of recycling problems are, is that we don't think about it. And she said, do you take your paper wrappers off your cans? I didn't think that I had that many cans, but obviously for Thanksgiving I did. And even the tops of things that come off, when you open them, if they're paper, that can be recycled. Either recycle it in your worm bins or recycle it in your compost, or even recycling things in pots. If you have plants that you're growing, if you allow your stuff to either, in this case, it can be chopped up, torn up, and go directly in, or if you dehydrate it or dry it in your oven. This is dried fruit and some dried leaves, and I will put those in with my worm bins. They'll love it. But look at this. I mean, this is a banana that's been frozen, and strawberry tops, onions, sweet potatoes, all the things that we had for our holiday meal. All those peels and such are going to go either to my worms or in the compost. Cork comes from a cork tree, so it's biodegradable. Any of your toilet wrapper, toilet rolls, paper towel rolls, it's getting to be that time of year, and things like tissue paper and wrapping paper can all be recycled, and the rolls they come on as well. Little popsicle sticks, any of that kind of little goody things can go into your recycling. Coffee grounds, tea bags, whether they're regular or decaffeinated, those grinds, leaves, whatever you want to call them, they can go in there too. We save the liquids from our cans of peas and corn, and also we rinse our rice, and that liquid, for me, goes into my worm bins. Oh my goodness, the worms just absolutely love the liquid that comes off corn. We use the no salt added, so I'm not adding salt into my worm bins. And if I weren't, this is also good for rinsing your hair or rinsing your face. The water that you've soaked your rice in has lots of good vitamins in it. If you're in a family that you can't eat your bread fast enough and it goes stale, make stuffing, for heaven's sakes. But if you're not going to, that can also go into your worm bins or your compost. Any of your pantry items that go stale, you can feed them that also. So hang on just a sec. Here I am. Hello, my friends. I think I'm going to have to alter this just a bit so I'm not in your face here. I hope this works. Hi. We had a really nice Thanksgiving. Lots of food. Lots of food. And as you can see, it says group therapy. We had good stuff to drink as well. So let's get down to brass tacks here, as my mom used to say. And we had no Brian again this weekend. Brian, I think, has given up cutting his grass for the year. So we didn't have that bulk. But we got out and raked leaves, and we had a few things that we cut up. You know, Rick got the mower out, and if I had branches or, you know, just soft branches, a bougainvillea, anything like that, that got cut up for us. So we ended up, all in all, we had 30 pounds, 15.5 ounces, almost 31. And that total brought us up to, we had 1740 and change, and so it brought us up to 1771, 4.8 ounces. So for those of you interested, we still have Sandra on the list. She said 1800, and we're at 1771. And after that, Jane said 1875. Gary said 1870. I'm sorry, Jane said 1835. Gary said 1870. And Nick is at the top. He gave me a real challenge, and he said 2000. So anyway, I think so much about recycling. The first of the year I thought, oh, so I make it or I don't make it. And now it's like, oh my goodness sakes, there's so much more to be recycled. And the one thing that I learned about, I did a video on, a friend sent me these wax sheets that are actually a cotton, and it has beeswax, and it has rosin, and it has jojoba oil, and you unpeel it, and then you can use it as a cover versus plastic wrap. And so I started looking this up, and they say that we individuals use 2,000 feet of plastic wrap a year, and I thought, that there's no way. I mean, I maybe go through 2 rolls, and there's 200 feet, so 400 feet. Excuse me. But the one thing that I didn't think of, I think what they're doing is just taking an average of what plastic wrap gets used across, let's say, the U.S. And I'm going to physical therapy now for my my Achilles that are kind of breaking down. And when you sit on their table, if they use a towel, every person who comes through, there's somebody, you know, they're taking that off, and it gets laundered. When it's delivered in sheets of plastic wrap, so that they can see it's clear inside, and they can see what it is. My physical therapist thought it would be fun. Big guy, burly guy. He said, I wonder how big the ball would be if I saved it for a year. Now we're in November, and he showed it to me a few weeks ago. And so he's been taking this and using this wrap and rolling it and rolling it. He went over to a cupboard, a normal cupboard. We might have 3 or 4 shelves. They have bigger things in it. It only has 2. The ball is about like this. To me, that's about 18 inches in diameter. And when he picked it up, you could see he took it out, and it looked like it was probably 8-10 pounds. And he kind of went, you know, hit on it like he was hitting a medicine ball, and he said, this is solid. They have 30 centers, and this was only one that's sort of busy. Can you imagine how much saran wrap just gets single use? You know, they pull it off and they throw it in. and then that gets sent to either the landfill or it ends up going into lakes and streams, or however, something breaks loose. So, just again, recycling, something to think about. I'll leave you with that. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. Take care, everybody. Hope to see you back next week. Don't forget, garden what you've got. Take care. Bye-bye.